No toughness for it though. My friends used to be able to do that super wing challenge at B-dubs, and that would make me literally like, my whole body would just ooze sweat and tears. This guy's ridiculous. Him and his Planet Earth commentary. Hey, here's another totem. And we can't pay into it, so gotta assume we did it.
Yep, I paid that one already.
One of the most underrated food, Jewish food, shit's hella kosher. Yeah, I'd say it's kind of kosher by default, isn't it? Jewish people eat really plain stuff, though. Cucumbers, crackers, like the actual Israeli... What do you call that? Palate? Like American food. What's a special word? Cuisine. Like, actually, like, Jewish cuisine is super plain. But usually they have the best shit in the store. Like, Coca-Cola, get the glass bottles because it's kosher. And I swear to God, it's 10 times better than regular Coke. It tastes just like the Coke out of the McDonald's fountain. Kosher pickles are also 10 times better than regular pickles.
Take that back. Gherkins are the best. Sweet gherkins.
Sweet gherkins are great, but especially kosher gherkins. Like, whatever they do in the kosher facilities, something is better or different. I guess it's fresher. But like the difference between the regular Kroger pickle that fucking who knows when they can it compared to the kosher pickle, just in color alone, is ridiculous. It actually still looks like a cucumber, the kosher pickles. Than the other pickles, they've always got that like yellow dye to them. And pickles are still good, but what?
It's that things that are bad for you always taste the best, and because all the Jews are going to hell for killing Jesus.
We'll see on Mixer. I think it was just one Jew in particular, so that's okay. My grandpa Wine would always say, "Oh, Jesus was a Jew," so I guess Jesus is in hell then.
Yeah, I make people mad at work saying stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm a good Christian. Like, oh, so you're a Jew? Like, no. Like, well, then you're pretty terrible. That's just to mess with the guys.
Yeah. Is there kosher bacon?
Turns out, though.
No. Turns out what?
One of the Marines where I work, he's actually like really practicing Jew.
Yeah.
This past week, he's been speaking with his rabbi in Israel.
Jews have an interesting religion, man.
They're doing some... Yeah.
Like, it's weird that some sects of Judaism are actually atheists. That guy that I'd read about, Robert Moses, who they say designed New York, like his whole branch of Judaism, they were straight up just didn't believe in God. They were still considered Jews, but they didn't believe in God. I can't even pretend to understand it. I also don't know why. I'm sure somebody does. Why are Jews are both like an ethnicity and a religion? Like, couldn't you be Jewish, Ashton? Couldn't you just decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna convert to Judaism and be Jewish?
Yeah.
Now, why is it like...
There's a bunch of, like, Jews, like African Jews in Africa, and I don't know.
But yet if you're like, your last name is like Blumenthal or Weinstein, it's like, oh yeah, you're Jewish. That's like my friends, well, when I was bullied in school, they'd always call me a Jew, and it's be like, my last name's Tucker. What would make you think I'm Jewish? Yeah, they were just dumb kids looking for an insult because I got a big nose, but I've just been always confused on the... Is it because of like is it your country? If you come from a like the Middle East or something, I know there's Arabs and Persians. Who knows? It's all
Those are all Muslims, you mean?
Yeah.
By most American standards.
But they've got like, you know, like Iranians and Iraqis hate one another because like Iraqis are Arab and Iranians are Persians, and so they have like this ancient historic feud or some, just all this intricacies that Judaism's a religion, but it's also an ethnicity. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand how it's both things. Like Ashton or I
think Hebrew is the ethnicity.
I thought that was their language. That lever work. Oh, we gotta go check 3 and 4. This is bizarre. All right, 2 says that's where the marker is. Right, they don't think that Jesus was the Son of God. I mean, that's the core difference. The Bible's almost exactly the same, except they don't have the New Testament. They don't think that Christ was the Savior. That's like the essence of it. But I know it gets even more nuanced than that. The definition of a Christian, they're going to think that Jesus was the Son of God, he was the prophet. And the Muslims think that Jesus was the Son of God and a prophet, just like Moses. The Jews believe that Moses was the closest thing to a prophet or something like that, but they think Muhammad was the last prophet. And Muhammad's got a crazy-ass story, too. I mean, like, yeah, the Quran is largely just a total copy and paste of the Bible, but it's also got its own stuff, and, like, legit, Muhammad was illiterate and came back and was, like, speaking in all these poems and had all this elaborate knowledge of the world and kind of freaky shit. Of course, then he, like, I don't know, took over like half the world or something stupid like that. But then the one that's really totally a full copyright is the Mormon Bible. The Mormon Bible is John Smith. This is more than just the South Park episode. Mark Twain talks about the Mormons a lot because his book Roughing It, Utah was still just a territory, and they were like trying to see what these Mormons were up to. John Smith finds these copper tablets way before the white man was even in America, and him and his buddies, they say he totally did it because they saw the tablets and he hefted them for him, and like then the whole thing's just basically the Bible except that John Smith's in there. Israeli as a nationality, right? Isn't Israel the ethnicity? Yeah, Israel's a country made after World War II and all that, and like evangelicals love Israel too because they think it's like doomsday, man. Like a bunch of Muslims, a bunch of Jews, and a bunch of evangelical Christians all think that Israel's is gonna be where it all fucking goes down on the hill. That's like ISIL. When ISIL was in its dying days, it moved all of its artillery and tanks to the hill of Armageddon. They're just trying to call forth the apocalypse, trying to like imitate revelations to make it occur. It's really weird. What about Buddhism? Religion is wild. I mean, the closest thing I associate with would probably be a Christian Buddhist, Walter. I meditate every day and stuff. I think Buddhism's fucking got so much good in it. I just don't live at all like a Buddhist is supposed to, so I can't consider myself a Buddhist. If you're a true Buddhist, you're supposed to give away all your worldly belongings. Because life is suffering. And the only way to stop suffering is to stop wanting. So you throw away all your worldly possessions, and you rely on the charity of others. And you do service and kind works and shit. But, I mean, I'm sure the Buddha reached enlightenment. It's a scientific thing at this point. There was a book I read last year. It's called B. It's by a Christian pastor. And he reached enlightenment. How? He kept fucking smacking the back of his head trying to do a wakeboard trick. And it meant that he could no longer form short-term memories. So every time that he saw something, it was like he was seeing it for the first time ever. And that's, that's exactly how mindfulness is supposed to work. It's being completely and totally present. Every breath is life. Every moment matters. Every moment is your life. And so seeing it with beginners' minds, which is really tough to achieve. It takes a lot of practice, but I've probably meditated for 5 years now, and I don't know how I would go on without it. It's not like it's fucking fancy or magic or anything like that, but it just is a really good life skill, especially these days. What are we missing? Dude, we just fucked up so bad, Ashton.
Yeah, we're not supposed to leave that area. I don't know what's going on anymore, man.
Yeah, that's completely my fault. We started like talking. Well, let's just do the quest. Let's do the quest and try to kill Verminivorous. My bad. We'll have to repay the Iridium debt in Borderlands 3. Yeah, I'm not against the Hey, this is the country of religious freedom. I'm not against the Mormons at all. I think that some crazy shit went down though, man. Like, literally Mormons killed the shit out of white settlers when they tried to go to Utah. We didn't want them anywhere either though. They were in Ohio for a while, they were in Missouri for a while. We didn't want anything to do with the Mormons because the thing is that their original guy, John Smith, didn't believe in, oh, what do they call it? Where they marry a bunch of women.
Polygamy?
Yeah, polygamy. But then the guy who took over the church later, the next guy after John Smith, and was actually the governor of Utah and shit, we're supposed to find the trail. He started practicing polygamy and he had like 30 wives. Mark Twain talks about this a lot in Roughing It. But basically the Mormons didn't want to admit, even though every single evidence suggested what had happened, which is that every single time white settlers would try to come in, they would just massacre them. Which they were white too, it's just that the Mormons and the rest of America had a huge beef for a long time. It's better now, it's ancient history, but that was totally a thing. What happened is they had the Utah Territory, which was brought in the United States, and they made the head of the church the governor of Utah. And so white settlers started, or you know, American settlers, whatever you want to call it, they started coming in because it was a U.S. territory. The Mormons didn't want anything to do with them. So the Mormons decided to dress up like Indians and attack the settlers. And the settlers put up a huge fight. And they circled their wagons and actually put up a fight. And the Mormons were frustrated by all this and couldn't break through the lines. So the next day they came in and, you know, said, hey, you know, here we are, we're fellow Americans or whatever. They're like, oh, thank God. And they put up a baby in a white outfit to show like, yeah, truce, we need you guys. They're like, they said that they had lived here a while and they knew the Indians around, and the Indians had decided to make a truce if they would just lay down their arms and march with the Mormons. And they're like, of course. So they decided to march with the Mormons, and once they got to this river, the Mormons shot them all dead. And the only people that lived were the children. They refused to kill the children. Problem is the children were then, of course, you know, the witnesses to the fact that the Mormons had killed all these settlers. So there was a ton of tension for a long time. It's why sometimes when like Romney would be at a campaign stop, there was still like old people that'd be like, I won't shake your hand. Like, why? Well, I won't ever shake a Mormon's hand. It's weird. It's weird. People still hold beefs over that shit.
Whoa, are these actually black characters?
I think they're just fucking gray. Maybe. Yeah, I guess this guy's black. I hope we're going the right way. I'm thinking if we work our way all the way around, maybe we'll find it.
I was deployed with a guy who was a practicing Buddhist. I don't know what set of Buddhism he was following, but he couldn't eat before a certain time. He couldn't wear deodorant because of chemicals inside of it. He'd only eat like rice and bland food, no seasoning at all.
He was a Buddhist?
Yeah.
This is like, you know, like the Hindus and there's the Krishnas and like there's a bunch of them that practice kind of the basic shit of Buddhism. They just got different stuff. Because I know there's a Zen Buddhist and there's one other type of Buddhist. And the Zen Buddhism is the thing that I find the most... If I was ever going to become a church-going person again, one thing I would probably do is go to a Zen temple. You just meditate, you just deepen your practice.
Here's a weird thing though. He's a white guy from like Sacramento.
Yeah, it's weird that he's practicing that, whatever the hell that is. I've never even heard of that form of Buddhism. Like, Zen Buddhism's totally chill. It's not even religious. You know, there's not, like, anything like that. It's a practice. It's like anything else. You know, like, if I go to a Christian church, you would take, like, you know, we eat, like, the bread and drink the wine and take communion. You don't even do anything like that. You just show up and meditate. You have a master, but they just mentor you. Phil Jackson's a Zen Buddhist, the Lakers guy from Bulls.
Like the god of basketball.
Yeah, he's a Zen
The
Buddhist. Yeah, his parents were actually really devout pastors. I think they were Unitarian ministers. And he couldn't find... I read his book, 11 Rings, and he couldn't find religious, like, feeling. He tried really, really hard to get into the Christian spirit and feel like have that religious awakening, and he couldn't have it, and he didn't want to fake it either. And it wasn't until he was in college and he started reading a lot and thinking about his religion and its place in his life that he read Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, which is a really old book, but great book on learning meditation and what Zen Buddhism is all about. And that's where he finally started to find some answers.
Hey, you want a Maggie?
Sure. Well, actually, you can keep it. I've got one in here. Unless it's better. Here, let's see. Let's compare Maggie's. Whip yours out and I'll whip out mine. I think we got the same, basically the same shit. I mean, I think yours just has a bigger mag. Yours has a bigger mag, mine has a little more damage. The ones that are really interesting are the damn Amish, which there's tons of Amish around Ohio. A bunch of them in Pennsylvania, but Ohio's actually got the most. What are we missing here? We're right where we need to be. It's either fucking on the right or on the left of this shit. Wait, it's that. Look, that's got to be the trail. Did we click something though? Like, alright, so now we gotta follow it. But it ends right here.
We'll go back to the middle and see.
It continues up here.
Yeah, my sister's grandpa farm was next to the Amish, and they're a very strange bunch.
They are a strange bunch. They're okay, but at the same time, man, they're really backwards. Really, really backwards. Like Mennonites, they're fine. They don't seem to really trust you, because they're everywhere around here. Every time I go to the store, I'm gonna see at least 24 Mennonites. They fucking pay in cash, like, but their women look at you like, don't you get near me. I'm sure they're good, wholesome people and everything. I have nothing against them, again, religious freedom, but like you said, they're just really different. And especially true Amish. And the thing is, like, my buddy Matt was telling me how they've committed too much incest, so now they'll, like, pay you if you're a man to come and impregnate their women. You don't ever even get to look at her. But they'll pay you like $5,000 to make a baby so that they can diversify their genes. Now, I want to know which Amish guy was reading about genes, that they finally figured it out. You can't keep kissing cousins over and over again or you're going to get Huntington's disease. Because they're old school like Puritan. They sit on the pew for 6 hours on Sunday and just listen to church service. No electricity, no nothing. Oh, here it is. We had to click this first one. That's so much. It was even outside the circle. Alright, now we track the beast. Can't keep kissing your cousin. Right. Well, you keep doing it, you're gonna run into some problems. And that's why they run into problems. And they don't believe in dental care. It's weird. They practice medicine, but only medicine that's relevant to like 1783. And then it just cuts off. Well, why not just not practice medicine at all then? So like you go to a dentist. They'll fucking pull your teeth. They'll bleed you. If you're gonna go that far, then either embrace modern medical practices, vaccinations, the rest, or don't practice any medicine. It just doesn't make sense. I feel like apparently the 18th century was the peak of biblical holiness. If you want to live that way, you live that way. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be for me. Would you ever be Amish, Ashton?
Fuck no. I'm too competitive.
Yes. Competitive, how's that tie into it?
Oh, they can't compete at all.
Oh, they're not allowed to do sports?
Scoring anything. If you're really good at something, you gotta hold yourself back so no one else feels excluded, or you can't be prideful.
Wow, I never knew that. I'll be damned. I never knew that about them. I know the one thing my dad would always tell me is they're rich. Not that you should rob them or anything. I'm not never planning to rob them. I think there was actually a movie that went into robbing the Amish, but they're fucking loaded. They don't trust banks and they use cash for everything. And they pass that money on, and they don't have to buy anything because they farm their own food, they sew their own clothes, they own their farms. You know, I'm sure they pay their taxes, but I think because they're a church, they don't have to pay as many on a lot of things. Probably pay property taxes, but that's it. We're losing the trail. And no, it was up there. Where is it gone? But you just would always say, like, that's where the money's at. It's stuffed in the Amish people's Hey, nice. This looks pretty good. Stuffed in the Amish people's mattresses. The religion I find wild is the Hindus. Like, the Hindus have sacred animals, you know, and they won't kill them. Like, some portions of Hinduism think that rats are sacred. And they just don't kill rats. Well, imagine that in India, and there's just like tens of thousands of fucking rats in this one temple. I'm not saying it's a bad religion. It's fucking interesting. They have some crazy cool stories with the Hindus, but hey, you found a cool chest. Worth. I'm compressing too much somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Anyway, the trail.
This may be it.
I always found the Native American spirituality fascinating. Hell yeah. Which one? And then you kind of like, you're not a religious person at all. Is that right, Ashton?
Yeah, no. Not in the slightest.
I mean, this looks right. This looks like a perfect area for a boss. I think I killed Rogue up here, but... Hey, a Volt symbol. With the whole, like, fucking Great Spirit. I think that's the Sioux that believed in the Great Spirit. Either the Sioux or the Cherokee. The Cherokee for sure believed in, like, you know, every morning you'd wake up if you were a Cherokee. You'd go down to the river and the whole tribe, like, give thanks to the Earth Mother and stuff. I mean, they all had different religion, though. Like, the Lakota had a much different religion than the Sioux. That's why the other Native Americans wouldn't fuck with the Lakota, because they were a warrior tribe. They were like ancient Spartans. They just wanted to fucking tear people up. A lot of the shit we don't even know. White men that learned their myths and their stories were killed, so there's just so many of them that we don't even know about. But they definitely had a lot of different religions. The Cherokee and Sioux are obviously really successful, and they had like an all-spirit, well, a great spirit of nature and all that. It's pretty similar to the Hindus and the Greeks, though. I mean, it's the same basic idea. You have a bunch of symbolic gods that represent all these universal truths. The, like, classic example is Joseph Campbell's Big Boobs. Yes, the big book, Hero with a Thousand Faces, that basically, like, the Christ story and the Jesus parable and Moses and Krishna and all this stuff. It just every culture across all of human history, across all time, has just been retelling itself over and over and over again.
My favorite version is Thor. I think that's the best Jesus.
Now that was legitimately like a Vikings god, right? They actually believed in Thor as their god.
Yeah. Well, like Thor, Hercules, you know, Jesus, Ra, they're all the same. All the same character. Slightly different.
Yeah, like a demigod gets blessed, usually a virgin birth. I mean, the only real difference with the Christian one is, like, legit, he's supposed to be God. God impaled on a cross for sins, and then, you know, but... And then it gets even more complicated, though, because, like, it's a little different in the Catholic version, it's a little different in the yada, 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 yada. I don't know, just figure out whatever makes you happy, I guess. I think religion can be pretty powerful and pretty useful, but it can also be pretty destructive, and that's just a pretty cliche, banal thing to say, but I think there's some truth in it too. And these footsteps are fucking annoying. At least we killed the shit out of that thing. Is this why people got pissed at the Hammerlock DLC? I remember 100%ing this and this not being an issue, though. What would it be like if it didn't exist, though? I mean, it probably wouldn't be good. I mean, you can say a lot of things about Christianity, for instance, that it did wrong, but you can also say a hell of a lot that it did right. Brought education across the world. I mean, just the missionaries, for instance, in Africa, they weren't colonialists. They were just there to open schools and give people vaccines. There's been damage done by Western culture, but there's also been a hell of a lot of good. You wouldn't have the world you have today without it. I mean, even the Muslims. I mean, the Muslims before Muhammad, it was the epicenter of the world at one time, the Middle East, and that was after Islam came in. It wasn't before. It was like Pandora. That's how they viewed their world. It was really rough. It was lawless. You weren't expected to live very long. And it was the organization of Islam that unified them. I think it's also a lot of how human minds work, though. We've been simplifying and becoming more uniform in our thinking and more efficient. There's been bad. There's been cultures that have died out, languages that have died out in this process, but it seems to be inexorable. You can't stop it. It's just happening. It's how humans apparently have evolved. It's the whole Tower of Babel thing. I mean, there's a lot of differences in American culture and Chinese culture, but already the amount of similarities that's formed in the last 30 years compared to when there was no white people there at all except for the English is crazy. It's only going to get more so. Probably elements of that we'll embrace parts of the Chinese culture. It'll be one big world culture, and whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. Oh, it goes up. That's what we're missing.
We went up though, didn't we?
Not all the way up yet, I don't think. Well, we'll see. I mean, we don't got anything to lose. That's like, I don't get into that whole Paleolithic romanticism. I read the book Sapiens, and there's parts of that that's interesting, but that guy's a historian, not a scientist. And you read his book compared to any anthropology book, it's a lot different. The idea that we were better off as hunter-gatherers all those thousands of years ago, when you could expect to lose half your kids. If you'd get sick, they'd have no idea what to do for you. We did go up, you're right. You know, but look at the footsteps, they're right here. There were a lot of admirable qualities to those ancient cultures. I liked fucking Genji Restoration, what the Japanese did. I think that shit makes a lot of sense. I think having warriors go out and fight your battles and taking it away from the rest of the populace and it's just down to who has the best warriors seems like a good way to fight war. It's how the Native Americans did it too. If you're going to fight these wars, why not just keep it to the warriors? But at the same time, I guess that's not how you'd win, is it? Pretty idealistic. That's like the problem with all this shit.
Hey, everybody's gonna fight. You may have a second job, but your first job is to fucking kill people.
Yeah, Sparta. Everyone's a warrior. Unless you're, what, a helot? That's like the slaves, and you fucking gotta kill them and shit. That's pretty rough, but... The problem with the Spartans, though, is they were stuck. That's why their society died out. They just it's like the Japanese. They were so stuck in their traditions, they could not adapt as times were changing. They had a peak in the first Persian War, when the Greeks actually unified, and then after that, where the fuck is this damn thing? This is crazy.
Do we need to click on something?
We probably do. I'll look it up. What's this called? Big feet. Yeah, the Greeks just were the greatest warriors, but couldn't technologically move forward. Big feet. Find the trail. Track beast. Note, so the footprint is discovered after Rogue has been killed. The second and third objectives will not update, preventing the mission from completing. I killed Rogue. I have to reinvite you. We have to save and quit.
Nice.
Yep. That's perfect. Should have looked that up sooner before we went into fucking... Let's go into religious history and world history and feelings on religion in general. People kind of lose sight to the fact that, like, at one time, even though the Roman Empire, you could say a lot of shit, the Holy Roman Catholic Empire, it was also a symbol of... It's like today, you know, the Pax Romana. Well, now they call it the Pax Americana. It was stability in the world. Stability in world politics, stability in government, stabilities of trade, stabilities of currency. It's like the great Silk Road in China. Well, depending if there was no wars going on and you had stable leaders and stable government, you could travel that thing in like a couple weeks. But if there was wars and strife and political disunion, then it could take months to years and you may never come back. And that's why for all the, like, oh, the holy shit, the Romans, they were the peak of society because of that stability that they brought to the world. And that's the Pax Americana. Some would view as an international order that means that you can count on some things. And that's what you got out of religion in general. And people can argue many bad things that religion has done, but goddamn, it's done some good too. Well, at least we have some shit we can kill now. It's just running around in circles for nothing. I think we gotta turn around.
Gerp.
Well, we were gonna unlock UVHM and see the world, and now we've had we both smoked a blunt and had a conversation in a college dorm room and talk about life, and everyone's seen my ignorance displayed once again, and it's almost midnight. But hey, this is Twitch TV. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live! We'll do it live! Content. Fuck yes, this freak show. This is quality content. Well, thanks, Water. Appreciate it. Ashton and I both appreciate it. Man, I can tell you the Catholics benefit me right now. Shit, every time they go into Lent, we get to have fish fries. I'm thankful for the Catholics for that. They put on a great fish fry. I mean, they're pretty nice people. I've never met a Catholic I didn't like so far. I mean, they usually stick together as a family. It all makes sense to me. But I guess that's cultural, isn't it?
I killed myself. Work at McDonald's, you will learn to hate Catholics instantly. Well, as soon as Lent comes around.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What happens?
Because it takes a little bit longer to make a filet of fish sandwich than it does to make a cheeseburger.
Oh, okay.
And you can make like 16 meat patties in about 40 seconds, and it takes about 4 to 5 minutes to make 8 fish patties. And so they just don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean, they eat the shit out of some fish,
most
though.
Of the women.
Most of the women? That what takes longer?
Yeah, they get there, they order it, they have to wait a little bit, and it fucking starts to fly off the handle.
Maybe because I'm in a small town, our Catholic families are like really limited to some core groups that are all like, I don't know, affluent. They'd be considered very affluent community members. Christmas hella deals for me. Yeah, I mean Christmas is a Chinese holiday now too. If you've, it's lost all meaning. It's just a commercial shit show. Show me Sparta. Your grandma ever watched the stream would be a good balance from Hallmark shows. Yeah, I curse way too much for that. She doesn't curse. I've heard her say damn once. I've heard her say shit once, and she never lies. My grandma's pretty Christian, but you know, I've said this a million times. We're Methodists. That's who we've affiliated with. She's a member of the Methodist Church. It's not all that strict. So Rogue, why would they even have Rogue spawn before this quest? That's annoying. Yo, something else. What up, something? Thank you for being here, man.
Well fought indeed. I have financial compensation with your name on it if you should return to me.
Hey, Martin Luther King Jr. was a Methodist. For a while, we were pretty good about the gay thing, but here lately, we've for some reason turned a page. Thanks for being here, something. Really appreciate it, man.
We're gonna skate to one song only.
Something's a legend. Yo, something else. Something is funny. He is charming. He is the Regis Philbin of Mixer. Alright. Your siren will at least get tested once. You should have never joined. It's cost you 100 iridium. And religious talk. I mean, you had really negative experiences with religion, is that right?
Me?
Can you crawl off the mountain?
Not really. It's just... Yeah, I'm falling off. I'll be down here.
I thought like where you grew up before you moved away was... You had really bad experiences with it.
Nah, everyone's just super into religion, and my family used it as a way to not take personal responsibility for goddamn shit in their life.
See, that's what made my grandma upset about the Catholics. She didn't understand, not Catholics in general, but the religion, and why she didn't become one. She didn't believe, she actually like revealed a bunch to me, and I'm not trying to like talk over your situation, but it just relates. She doesn't believe in hell. I recently learned this, and I thought that was interesting. She doesn't think you actually ever go to hell. That if there's a god, he wouldn't create a hell. And she says hell is here on earth. You live your own personal hell based upon the bad things you do. The mistakes you make. Your consciousness creates hell for you. And then she didn't believe in the Catholic version of things because she doesn't believe in the forgiveness of sins like you're talking about. She doesn't think you could like go stab someone in the back and murder like a whole village of kids and then do 10 Hail Marys and be forgiven. What do you think?
Nah. Like, you can be sorry, but that will be forever with you, and there's no way to take it back.
Is that what you mean by like not taking personal responsibility for in their lives for this stuff?
Well, like, my mom was a drug addict and alcoholic, and she'll just say she's sick, or the devil's doing this or that or this.
Oh, I see.
It's never her making mistakes. It's always the devil playing tricks or the demons chasing her or whatever. And basically, my whole family does the same thing.
Yeah, when religion can't marry with science, I also have a tough time with it. Like, I totally believe that... I think we don't know enough, and so I think there is an intelligent creator, a higher power. But I think the higher power created the things that we know as the fundamental laws of science. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that there's an intelligent creator, and the intelligent creator creates evolution. It doesn't have to be there was Adam and Eve. I mean, because we know that just isn't so. It doesn't make, you know, two white people fucking put 7 billion different kinds of people on the earth. Of all kinds of different races and ethnicities and shit. You know, just obviously that's not what happened. It's super fun, dude. If you ever played Ark, it's like a mix of Astroneer with... I've played a little bit of Ark, not much. I've been watching a lot of Rust videos, even though I never played it. I see that Ark's kind of similar to that. It looks like Rust is super fun. You've been playing... I rode a monster today. I felt like a damn king. You rode a monster today? What's up with that, something? Yeah, how's No Man's Sky look? Oh, okay, you guys are talking. Your grandma believes that, wise woman. Yeah, she's really smart. If I just shut up and listen to her sometimes, she's got a lot of interesting things to say about the world. You know, she grew up in a different time, too, when religion was a much bigger focus in your life and how it was going to play a role in your life. Now you can get by with never being even in a church. I think, my personal opinion only, that I would like to put my kid in church to begin with, a good church, because I think it teaches you a lot, especially living in America. Our laws and our culture are very much so shaped by Christianity. And so I just think it's good to get that essence in you to understand how this country works, just to help you along, and not even really in a religious way, but beyond that, I mean, like I say, nothing really too crazy either. But anymore, it's just like evangelical churches. I'm not against the evangelicals, but my church, when I was growing up, so like I said, I had to go to church, was you sit down, it's like an hour. You sing some hymns, you say some prayers for everybody in your community, in your town. There's a sermon given that would usually just be really, really like blasé, some chapter out of the Bible and how we could apply it to our own lives. And then we'd sing one more hymn, and we might do communion. If it's the first of the month, we would do communion, and we would have a meal, and then you peace out. And it was great. It's nice and easy, and there was nothing weird about it ever. So I had a really positive experience. But I've been in churches. I've been sent. My mom is very religious, and she's done a practice of like all the different religions. So I've been in evangelical camps. When I was a kid growing up, I was put into those, and those were negative experiences with religion. I'll tell you that much. And so like little towns like mine, usually it's just one church anymore. It's just these super evangelical churches that, dude, get so many people in them. My town has maybe less than 3,000 people, and probably more than half of that population goes to the evangelical church in my area. Like, they literally bus people in on Sundays, and it's standing room only, and they had to put TVs on the outside of the church so people could watch. Which is, we went the wrong way, my bad. Completely the opposite of what I grew up with, and I don't understand it. And it's a lot of show. It's like every other religion, every part of Christianity thrown in. They can talk in tongues, which I don't understand even a little bit. Does not make sense to me. I've seen people do it, and I don't get it. I think they're convinced. Obviously, they're convincing themselves that something. I saw a kid one time when I was a little kid. It's what really threw me out of the loop. He thought he was having a religious experience at one of these Bible schools that I would be sent to. And he was like, feeling the warmth of God. And I thought to myself, no shit, dude, you're looking right at a ceiling light in one of these big megadome churches. Real bright fluorescent light. And he's like sweating, and he was like, like The Exorcist. I'm like, yeah, dude, you got a big ass bright ceiling light looking right down on your face. You would be feeling pretty warm right about now. They don't think like that. They really do think that God's speaking to them. And I hate to talk shit about him because, like I say, I'm a big freedom of religion guy, but I don't want to be a part of it. I was always in fear that I was going to get sucked into it. Couldn't ever escape it. That's what it felt like. Prison. Alright, you're going to own this guy. I'm confident in you, Ashton. Is it your rule not to? My rule is immature, and it's my Stream Freak show, so I'm talking about whatever the hell I want. Your church experience, it sounds like what my church did when I was a kid. Went to a congregational church. Did you have a positive experience, something? Yeah, I've had two different experiences with churches. I don't think evangelicals are bad people either. It's just not my brand. I'm not into all that show. Thank you. I didn't. Oh, you did that, didn't you? Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I put him in front of a kung fu movie. That shit's spiritual. Changed my life. What did, Walter? As long as you're not a furry. Went to a Lutheran small church. Great experience. Youth group. Yeah, I liked it. I've had good experiences with. My mom goes to a Lutheran church, which is why I always get kind of confused as to why she believes in some of this talking in tongues stuff. But Lutherans are cool too. I mean, they're all cool. They're all fine. They're all fine. There's nothing wrong with any of them, really. Even the Church of Satanism, if you ever read its Bible, I mean, it's not actually praying to the devil. It's just an atheistic society that thinks that religion is limited human enjoyment of life. I mean, freedom of religion. I don't mind when the Satanists do a freaking protest, and I don't think you ought to have the 10 Commandments in front of a courthouse. You know, separation of church and state. But I also don't think it ruined the world. Hail Satan, says Volder. I'm coming. I might be able to get you. I think we're supposed to kill Ubuntu before we do this. At a church, and my dad is super religious. I can't get in, sorry. It won't let me do it. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to kill the chief first. And if we do that, then he can't get his shields back and we win. Do you know? Did you beat this guy in the past?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just gonna predict then. Why do you bring it up though, Freak? I mean, you're a streamer, Freak. Why would I wouldn't come in and be like, why are you talking about this, man? It'd be your channel. There, just for Walter. It was a positive experience. Yeah, youth group was great. At the very least, it was a good place to be able to learn about religion on a less pressure scale. Right. I mean, I grew up with a lot of religion. It's impacted my life. And I had a lot of positive experiences with it. Only a few negative experiences being sent to those Bible schools. You know, the religion I grew up in, you could cuss in. You could still talk about anything. There wasn't all this stuff. All these stupid rules. You could just be a normal person. It's whenever I got into one of those groups where suddenly it was just very, very strict and dry and just, that shit's just lying. You're just lying, man. We get horny, we shit, we have sex, we curse. People can be rough around the edges. I just don't like that kind of phoniness. That's my personal take. Water says. Beat me to it, Water. I'm ready when you are.
Yep. Oh, it has a butthole. Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, so I think we gotta kill Big Chief. Where is he? Oh my god, he's got a fucking ton of health. Okay, we need shock. That's what we need. Melt his. Thank you. Holy shit. He's got a chain grenade and everything. I think once his shields are busted, though, he's very similar to, like, the Seraph Guardians from BL1. Thank you. Just gotta make a switch in my gear right quick. Nice. Good job on the second wind. I should have got a slag grenade. What's the streaming goal with this game? I'm trying to get all the achievements across the Borderlands franchise before Borderlands 3 is out, but I'm running out of time.
Thanks, I needed that.
Come in quick and fuck him up? Sure, jump in here real quick. Fuck him up. Level 80 Necromancer, just saying. Some of it's about the challenge, to be honest, so. I feel like we can do it, we just need some shock. I think, yeah, I'm nearly positive I have only one rule in chat, and that's that the stream's rated M for mature. And mature not for age, but for maturity. So anything goes, just, you know. Just don't, none of us, I don't think, want to let it turn into a shit show. I think I also had one rule, what, backseating? I probably had it backseating as a rule, because it frustrates me more than it should.
Yeah, fuck backseat gaming.
Yeah, it can be so annoying.
Hey, why don't you do this? Well, did you try that and die? Yeah? Well, then shut the fuck up.
Right. It always gets me that they're like, we didn't stand over their shoulder and tell them how the fuck to play the game, so. Why do you think it's okay to stand over our shoulder? I don't know where you're at, Fit Man. What's your gamer tag? I'll throw you both in here and you guys can both rip it off. Rule 1 Jeremiah says, don't be a cunt, give us your money. How many achievements you need? I've almost got the vanilla 1000. I didn't even see you, man. We're working on, so we just need to do the, ooh, look at that evanescent gun. That thing looks freaking sweet. I didn't realize it looked that cool. It's all sparkly and shit, same as my name. Ooh.
But yeah, my my build as it sits now is pretty trash for anything that I can't phase lock or slap an element onto.
Hey, but that res is pretty nice. I just gotta basically do the DLCs, wife. We have 2 weeks until Borderlands 3, but the thing is I still want to do Tales, which I'm gonna try to do in one stream. I for some reason I can't see if, oh, there you are.
Damn it, Walter.
Well, we might as well kill Hyperius now that we got the fucking gang. Oh my god. Fucking see you, dude. My bad. No, I had you. I had you. I just was missing you. It's my fault. Since we got you guys in here, we'll just run to Hyperius real quick too. Can you like one? Can you like one hit Gee, Walter? I gotta throw him in here. I don't think damage applies to Gee. You have to get all the worms going. If we do this right here though, that's gonna give us 48 hours. 48 hours. Because this would finish this DLC and it'd finish the Pirate DLC 100%. Maybe. Alright, fuck it. Let's go kill Hyperius and see if we can kill Gee and get the achievement. Once we turn this in. Thanks for your help, Water. Fitman, I sent you a game invite too. Does he not drop Seraph Crystals in TVHM? I think I got you an invite, Water. I sent you a party invite, Water. I don't know if it worked. Just let me know. Alright, well, good job, everybody. Water, thank you for your help. Fitman, thank you for helping, too. I know in spirit you were helping. I literally farmed this boss back in the day for the shotgun. I'll be completely transparent. I literally killed this boss over and over again with that fucking infinity glitch. That was wonderful. Alright, level 80 gauge. Nice. You weren't fucking joking. Let's go, bitch. I'll punch you to death. Easy. Yeah, it went well. Yeah, Infinity Glitch was the best, man. Missed that thing. It still works on PC, right? That's how those speedrunners stack all that damage together and do just absolute insanity. Well, oh man. Knowing we got you two, we do need to unlock UVHM and throw almost had him. Throw everybody up to 80. Yeah, on PC you're able to play early patches, which is cool. Yeah, that's nice. It's really nice. Sure they'll do that again with Borderlands 3. How are you looking, how are you thinking of the post-launch support? Something. The 2 events that are lined up and then the DLC. What version of 3 are you getting, by the way, something? There we go, we've already got the gang. You can tell it's 2 weeks from Borderlands 3 because we're starting to get teams together. We got Ashton, we got Walter, we got Fitman. We should be able to... You're appearing offline, I can't join party. Really? Ashton was able to. You sure I'm appearing offline? Dude, I'm appearing online. Oh, no, I'm not.
It took like 7 minutes for it to finally go through, but...
Oh, rip. My bad, I didn't know I was appearing offline. Appearing offline. Listen, look! Look here, look, listen! Appearing offline! Well, I don't want to be a dick and not invite Fitman. He'll think all the things that about me are true are true. Because they are. Hey, Walter, how the hell are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So you are Amish, Walter?
Yo, I'm totally Amish.
Or a Satanist?
He's
I'm
playing this
actually
to his Bible.
I'm celibate. If you sell a bit, I buy a bit.
Oh, you're full of shit. You are what, a pacifist though, and that's not like a religious
Yes.
thing, right? You just don't believe in violence.
Yeah, in the layman's sense, yeah, I guess.
Because there was
I
that
don't
one
believe in
guy.
causing-
Go ahead, sorry.
don't